Hey guys, it's hot outside, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to make a frozen Italian mojito. First of all, for those who are completely unaware of what a mojito is, you've obviously been hiding under a rock, but rum, lime juice, sugar with mint, served lots of ice, a huge plumage of mint on top, and they're refreshing, they're delicious. I mean, come on guys, you're all familiar with the mojito. Now the Italian version uses Cocchi Americano. So this is a aromatized wine, got herbs and spices infused and flavored into it. And that's probably a terrible way of describing it, but one of the key ingredients is cinchona. That's where you get the quinine from. It's bitter, but it's got the sweetness, it's citrusy. Whilst it does have that bitterness, it's still quite bright. So therefore it works really nicely in this version of a mojito. And this is the frozen version. So if you don't have a bottle of Cocchi, don't go running away, because I've got a few alternatives that I'm going to suggest, as well as a few key tips to make a better frozen mojito, or better frozen any cocktail for that matter. So we're going to start off with our lime juice. Now you don't have to, but completely optional. Add a little bit of lime zest into the actual drink, into the blender. Just means more flavor. Now, you have to think about when you're making a frozen drink, there's a lot of ice, so there's a lot of dilution. So you want to pack as much flavor into there as possible so it shines when you've actually added that extra dilution into there. So we're going to add a full ounce, 30 ml of fresh lime juice. Now, as I said, if you don't have the Cocchi Americano, you could mix it up and do a more traditional mojito by using a rum. I just tried it before with Veritas. For those who are familiar, it's probably also known as Predominant. It's a fairly full-flavored, light-style rum, and that works really well. And then I also put a little bit of ancho reyes to add a little bit of spice into this like cold, icy drink. Hell, you can put some velvet falernum. You get crazy, you can put some liqueurs in there in addition to your rum if you don't have the Cocchi Americano. So 1 ounce, 30 ml fresh lime juice. And then I'm going to follow that with 2.5 ounces, 75 ml of Cocchi Americano. And then the sugar, the sweet component. So you've already got a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of sugar in there, but we're going to add some more this way with just granulated sugar. As I said, this already has a little bit of sweetness to it. So 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar. Rather than adding a syrup, granulated is going to mean less dilution because we're going to add pebble ice, lots of ice into that frozen drink. If you do make a frozen version of a more traditional rum-based mojito, then consider going 2 teaspoons of this because you don't have the sweetness from here. You'll just have to tweak it and have a little bit of a play around. Now, we want fresh mint, lots of it. So 8, 10 mint leaves. Obviously depends on the size of your mint leaves. These are nice, vibrant, beautiful, luscious, fresh mint leaves, thanks to my wife. So that's it. Plenty of mint. You've got your spirit, or in this case, aromatized wine, lime juice, sugar, mint, and then about 1.5 cups of crushed or pebble ice. That's roughly about 1.5 cups. And of course, this is another optional tip, using the xanthan gum. I've used this in frozen drinks in the past. It just helps maintain the consistency of the drink. So I'm just going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon. Again, if you don't have the xanthan gum, which I'm guessing most of you don't, have it readily available, and just go without. It's perfectly fine. But this should be available at the baking section in your grocery store, so it's pretty easy to get a hold of. So first tip, lime zest. Second tip, granulated sugar. Third tip, add some xanthan gum if you want to make sure it's got the right texture and it doesn't separate in the glass. And we give it a blend and we're good to go. And tip number 4, use a frozen glass so that you don't add extra dilution by melting that ice quite quickly. I don't want this to fall everywhere, so I'm going to use a spoon. Now, of course, you can play around with the consistency. I think this is just about right. Maybe a little bit thinner. We might like it really icy, so you can pile it up nice and tall. This is a relatively high volume Collins glass, so has come up a little bit short. A couple of nice big mint sprigs to finish it off for garnish and hide the fact that the tide's out on this one. There you go, you can't even tell. Of course, so with the straw, because it's going to be a nightmare trying to drink that with that one. They have a Frozen Italian Mojito, really nice textural, well, it looks textural because of the xanthan gum that's in there. Now, you're naturally going to see some separation at the bottom, but with that xanthan gum, it's going to slow it down. Oh yes, that's refreshing, nice, bright, minty. You get those citrusy notes from the Cocchi Americano. It's actually really quite light because this is only 16.5%, so it's really quite low. So this is a really easy, sessionable mojito to sit by the pool, and you can knock back a couple of these for sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Cheers.